How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the stable. Dense weekly update. As you can see, how many trades is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. We made 7 trades again. I think I'm done. We're 3 weeks out, and I think we're done. Sorry, I've got the pan going because I'm that hungry. I'm cooking nachos while we're doing this, but 7 more trades this week and we're done. We're wrapped, right? I did just add another trade, but we're done. I'm that happy with this team that we're done. So I don't know what I'm going to do next week for next week's trade update. We'll see what we do. But if we get into it quickly, Josh Lindsay from West Coast, I've just heard nothing since the start, so he bit the dust. He bit the dust for a bloke that his coach was on radio yesterday morning talking him up deluxe that he's a AFL player, and he could not have rated him highly enough, and that's Josh Gibkiss. Now I know I've heard this for 2 preseasons, but it's gone wrong both times. Apparently he's a jet. The coach is saying basically he's a walk-in. If he's fit, he's playing. So at 139k, I've bought Josh Gibkiss in. And over Lindsay, I've heard zero about Lindsay for a while. So that was pretty easy. That was pretty easy done. And like I said, we've been here before with Gibkiss. I hope he gets on the park because I want to see it. There's been hype on this bloke for like 2-3 years. And he's just been getting bad injuries. So get Gibkiss on the park and let's find out. I don't even know if he's a distributor or not. I don't know much about him at all, but the Supercoach world definitely loves Gibkiss. He's in. We'll do the other defense one quickly. Now, money was shuffled around through all this trade, so it's not going to make fully sense, but it all worked out, right? I had Archie Roberts, one of my favourite pods. He's bit the dust. And it's for a bloke I just feel like, if you're asking me, he's a must-have and you need to get him in. It's Josh Dacos. I think Josh Dacos, if he's in that midfield, he is going to be a 600k defender. He'll be top 4 defenders at the end of the year. I think if he's in that midfield with Nick, I think Josh Dacos is a must-have at 525. He's not going to get cheaper. Even if this isn't a great pick, I'll just trade him at 525. I'm looking at Josh Dacos as a keeper. I'm not looking at him as a money change. I think he's a keeper. Top D4. So, yeah, and look, him and Nick could cause chaos in that midfield, and it's going to help Nick. Den's opinion, Josh will get tagged late in the year. If they're both playing midfield, Den's opinion, Josh Dacos will get tagged over Nick towards the end of the year. Yep. And then my last one in the back line was I downgraded Newman. So this is where I got a lot of money. I got cold feet on Newman. I don't really know why. I think he's still a good pick. Nick Newman, I think he's a good pick. I don't think he'll disappoint you. I just was reshuffling my pack a bit. And yeah, I needed the cash. And I used his cash to get Dacos and a couple of other picks that you'll see shortly. But I downgraded him big all the way down to Farrow because I've heard a lot about people are saying he's like the flying under the radar Supercoach jet this year. So let's find out. Essendon, if you're performing well, you're going to get into the squad. So he's in. And yeah, I just need the cash, and I think that made like 300 grand. That one, there's not much to it. He's owned by 27%, so I don't think it was that high a week ago. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe everyone's catching on to this fella, and the news is getting out. We're getting to that time, 3 weeks out, where chat is happening. Everyone's finding out information. It's getting hard to pick who you want. There's almost too many to pick now. But yeah, Farrow in, Newman out. If you still got Newman, I rate it. I think it's a good pick, but yeah, he had to go for me. Now, my midfield, Marshall, I was big on him last week for the Sam Marshall for Brisbane. I flicked him. I got a bit cold feet. There's a lot of chatter around other young kids. I think at Brisbane, I think Marshall's still going to play on that wing constantly, and he's 197k. If I can figure out how to get him back in, I'll try. And if he's scoring that well at the start, I'll figure out how to get him in, because I think he's going to play full games. But this is where money got tight for the last pick I've got here in my flex, because I had to change the flex. As we all know, Sid Draper got injured. We'll deal with that. But yeah, Marshall, it was kind of a straight swap, just made a bit of cash. It was Sam Marshall to Schoenberg, because there has been some chatter around Schoenberg might be jumping over Robertson at West Coast. So it was all Robertson. Now the Schoenberg's getting a bit of chatter, and he's actually a bit of a pot. He's 6%. I wonder if they'll change, because, yeah, the chatter's heating up over Schoenberg. But he's going to be on my bench. I'm not too happy with having him, but I needed a 119k. I need to make around 70k off Marshall to fill these other two. And, yeah, like I said, I've heard the most about him at the moment out of the people I don't have. So, at 119, that is. So, Schoenberg's in. They're like, I think there was an interview of Harley Reid where he didn't mean to, but he kind of talked up Schoenberg deluxe and then simmered on Robertson, which I don't think he meant to do it like that, but it just came across. It might have been the coach, might not have been Reid, I'm not sure. But, yeah, there's a bit of talk on Schoenberg. So watch out for him. His ownership's going to go up, I think. Oh, no. And I cannot wait. I'm starving. These are the two big ones. We're going to do the two big ones. I'm going to leave the flex for last. Flex is a bit saucy. I've been sucked in. We'll get to that. But Papley got injured at Sydney. Now, I didn't have Papley, but I had Heeney. And I've been red hot on Heeney this season. I think, like I've been saying, Brownlow, gut feel. Heeney's going to explode. I think Papley's out for a while. Heeney's just going to go forward. He's going to be way more forward if Papley's not there. So I had a bit of cold feet. And I just went to the obvious one, Gulden. And he is an outside player, Gulden. And my big thesis this year is outside players are going to dominate. I mean, Heeney's outside as well, so I wasn't off my own mark there. But if my feeling that is going to be the domination this year of players is outside players, and there's a few people that share that with the new rules, Gulden is just going to be a great pick at 566k. He's going to be he's not going to let you down. If he goes cheaper, it won't be much. He's not going to be a 480k player at all, Gulden. So he's in. Like now that this has happened, because I've got Sydney going top 4, I've now got a weird feeling about Gulden for Brownlow. It's fully swapped because Heeney will go forward. Even if it's only for half a season, it'll impact him. Now Gulden's got my gut feel. I still think it's a Bont year and you have to beat Bont this year. But yeah, Gulden's going to have a great year. It's funny because I feel like everyone's on him, but he's 30% owned. I feel like he's 70% in my head and he's not. 30%, I don't think that's enough owned. I do think almost everyone should have him. But 30%, yeah, to me that's low for him. So, it is what it is. Gulden's in, Heeney's out. Now, Callahan also went. I did a big primo shift here. So, 2 of my primos got shifted. Heeney to Gulden. And I went Callahan to Anderson. Again, outside player thesis I'm going in here. I think Real might have a borderline stinker of a year. This might be a bad, dense opinion. Stink is too far. I'll take back stinker. Stink is too rough. But I just think Anderson is going to blow the roof off of Gold Coast. You ain't winning Brownlows at Gold Coast. Now you've got Anderson, Rail, Track. You're not winning Brownlows at Gold Coast right now. So, I mean, maybe. But I just don't think so. But I think in Supercoach terms, I'm buying into Anderson could be in at 120 average, honestly. He's just that right age to go bang. He's already gone bang, but like the next level. And 619k, like I first went to Baz Smith, and then I saw Anderson was 25k cheaper, and I was like, Anderson's more consistent too. He never has like weeks off, where Baz can have a random week off. It happened. I think it happened 3 times last year, and that's all goods. But for Supercoach, it can fire you up when you hear that on like Friday or Saturday afternoon. Oh, stiff. Especially this year when he's a pod. If he's one of your big pods and Smith gets pulled late, you'll be fuming, mate. So Noah Anderson in. Big year for the Gold Coast. Big year for Noah Anderson. He's in. Yeah. First, let me put you onto the sauce. If you're looking for a hot sauce for your nachos, just a simple Doritos hot salsa. Special. Throw it in with a bit of this action. Guacamole from old Chris. Special. Now for my flex. I've been sucked in here. But I saw the news on this probably like 2 weeks ago. And I liked it. I liked what I was hearing, but I just had no reason to go there. Now, Sid Draper has got injured, which I had. They're saying it's a groin, so could be a while. The season's 3 weeks away. I'm going to move on it. I had extra cash, and the rumour is Josh Rachele is full-time mid. The talk is in every sim, he's second in centre bounce appearances behind Dawson. Curtin's out for who knows how long. Draper, I don't know if it was game mid, he's out. Rachele is a gun, right? But we haven't really seen this. I think we've seen snippets of him in the mid. But in one of those sims, he scored 4 goals from midfield. He's got the attributes to be a midfielder. He's going to be an outside player going into the thesis. And in your flex, I just feel like, because he's only a forward. So you're looking at DDP as well. If he's mid, round 6, he'll be mid forward. And he might be 450, 480k. Right now it's 369. He's 7% owned, so news is already getting out. There's no way he's 7% owned when people just normally think he's playing forward. People are catching on. The news is strong. It's probably the strongest story from pre-season this year is Rachele is destroying the midfield in these sims and everything. So I liked what I heard 2 weeks ago, but again, I didn't have a reason to move on it. I had to make a move, and yeah, I'm buying in. I don't feel like I have a lot of risk on my team. Colby's a risk. Some people say he's not a risk at all. Young's a risk. But besides, TDK is a big risk. Maybe I got a bit of risk. But yeah, man, I'm buying in. Josh Rachele full-time midfield could be main event. Could be prime time. He could be special. So if I go save my team, it should sort itself out. And I generally think I'm finished. Let me just get Anderson on for Schuenberg. If I do that, and yeah, that is my squad, and I think I'm done. Like I said, we'll see how we go, because I'm doing weekly updates. So if there's not something to update, we'll figure out what to do. But right now, I'm going into round 1 with that squad, and I'm happy. I'm real happy. So funny thing is, I'm sure I bought Dersma in this week, but he wasn't in my notes of trades. So I'll touch on that quickly. I'm sure I didn't do Dersma last week. Sorry I can't tell you who I traded out for Dersma. Maybe I did do it last week, but we'll touch on it quickly. He's number 1 pick. He's going to play wing half back. He's in. And I think I made money on that trade down. So Dersma's in. But yeah, that's the squad. And yeah, buddy. Peace.